Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is one of those games that I so desperately want to love, but for a few big reasons, it just ends up falling short. And while some of those reasons are tied to the remake aspect of the game, some of them just tie into the fact of how the game was made. Like the fact that the entire game is structured in missions. I think that system is the worst thing that ever happened to Luigi's Mansion. When I think of Luigi's Mansion, I think of free roaming and exploring and finding and collecting. But when you play Luigi's Mansion 2, you just get warped all around and it takes away from the immersion. The minute you complete a puzzle and think you know where you're going, EGAD just pops his head in and tells you to come back and then go out on a new mission. And it just gets so frustrating. I want to be able to walk around and explore the mansion and just see what it has to offer. I don't want to be told exactly what to do. I don't want to be told exactly where to go. I don't want to be pulled out after I complete a few specific quests. I'd rather just gradually unlock stuff to keep exploring new areas of the mansion. Like, I honestly can't even count how many times it happened to me during the game. I'd finish something cool and be all excited to keep exploring and checking out the area, and then EGAD would just pop in and be like, nope, it's time for the next level. And it just got frustrating. I felt like there was a constant disconnect in the gameplay. And the whole mission system comes with a bunch of extra issues anyways. It forces you to try and go fast if you'd like to get 3 stars, which honestly doesn't make sense in a game like this. It makes it so EGAD plays an even bigger role in the game, which kind of is a disappointment. Not because he's inherently a horrible character, but because it feels like Luigi isn't actually exploring a mansion. It just feels like he's a guinea pig for EGAD, and that's kind of upsetting. And the whole mission system seems to tear apart the whole gem system. From my experience, you can only get certain gems on certain levels, and I think it's just kind of frustrating. It honestly reminds me of the blue coin system in Super Mario Sunshine, which is something that almost everyone universally hated. But that's not even the worst part about the system. What makes the mission system in this game so bad is the fact that it just completely destroys exploration. I don't actually feel like I'm exploring a mansion and going around and discovering new things. I feel like I'm just doing a bunch of quests. And I'm not saying that a quest system is bad, but in a game like this, it just feels out of place. I remember playing Luigi's Mansion 3 when it came out, and I was blown away by that game. I genuinely felt like I was exploring an abandoned hotel and collecting all these wonderful things. But in Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, I kind of just feel like I'm playing a game. Exploration doesn't even feel very rewarding, and you're always being told what to do and where to go. EGAD will never shut his mouth, and it just takes away some of the charm. And even when I am able to find the charm in this game, I quickly am snapped out of it, just because of that constant teleporting around that I mentioned earlier. I don't like watching a cutscene showing off what my actions just caused, only to be warped out 10 seconds later. Let me go explore the area that I just changed. And I get it, sometimes that warping you out does end up putting you back into that section. But let me walk there, let me get there, let me explore there by myself. But enough ranting about the whole mission system. Let's talk about some things that this game does have going for it. Like, for starters, the music. I mean, it is a Nintendo game after all, and Nintendo typically doesn't fumble the bag when it comes to music. They're good at what they do, and this game is no exception. And Nintendo also did a good job on the visuals of the game. While they're definitely not as gorgeous as the ones found in Luigi's Mansion 3, I definitely still do appreciate them, and am glad they look this nice. And I mean, when it comes down to the core experience of this game, it still is pretty fun. Like, is it as polished as the gameplay in Luigi's Mansion 3? Absolutely not. But is it complete garbage? Not at all. Like, yeah, there definitely are things that could be improved and made better, but I don't think they're absolute game breakers. While I could just keep sitting here and listing off good and bad things about this game, I don't really think it's that important. At the end of the day, I think Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is a pretty good game. By no means did I absolutely fall in love with it like I thought I might, but I definitely was able to at least enjoy myself.